We begin this half hour with the trial from Army Private First Class Bradley Manning. He's in Fort Meade, Maryland right now. Today's hearing resumed just as the news broke of yet another whistleblower. That whistleblower has been identified as Edward Snowden. But before we get to that story, today the prosecution in the Manning case was slated to focus on the specific video the Private First Class Bradley Manning had leaked to WikiLeaks. The video showed an airstrike that happened back in 2009 in Afghanistan. At least 26 civilians were killed in that attack. However, in reality, the court spent the majority of this morning talking about computer forensics. RT correspondent Liz Walt joined me just minutes ago with the very latest information coming out from that trial. Take a look. Hey there, Liz. So what new information came out from court today?
That's right, Megan. It is day 4, week 2 of the Bradley Manning trial here in Fort Meade, Maryland. And today we heard testimony from a number of witnesses, mostly in relation to computer forensic analysis. First up on the stand today was a man by the name of Steve Buchanan. He is a contractor for the NSA. He was also trained in security for something called IntelLink. And what that is a web-based search engine used by the U.S. intelligence community, and it allows users to find all kinds of information, including top secret information. So the point of this testimony is to authenticate evidence, proving when and what Bradley Manning searched for in terms of the information that he's accused of leaking. We also heard from another analyst, a man by the name of David Shaver. He is a special agent for the Computer Crimes Investigative Unit, and he provided some more forensic analysis. And he was able to verify that certain searches did in fact happen. He says that Bradley Manning searched the terms WikiLeaks, Assange, and Iceland, those specific terms, back in December of 2009. So today, mostly details in regards to evidence, computer-based forensic evidence.
And as I understand it, Liz, they were supposed to talk about examining a certain video today that showed the deaths of 26 civilians in Afghanistan. Did you hear anything about that today?
That did not happen today. They did go on recess at 2 p.m., a very lengthy recess. They said it was, or they went on recess, excuse me, at noon. We're supposed to resume back at 2 p.m. Didn't resume back until 2:45. Up until that point that we went on recess, it was mostly all talking about computer forensic analysis. They did not discuss at that, as of the point that I left the court today, did not discuss that video, but there were reports circulating that that was going to be one of the main highlights of today's testimony. Reports circulating that there's another video separate from the now infamous collateral murder video in Baghdad of 2009, the Apache helicopter, U.S. military forces shooting down on innocent civilians on the ground. This is something separate, according to reports of a helicopter shooting down on civilians, resulting in mass casualties in Afghanistan. Now, this did not happen, but we were told, we were provided a list of projected witnesses on deck, and I do know that at least at some point, whether it's today or some point this week, we do have a pilot, an Apache helicopter pilot, slated to testify. As of today, that did not happen.
Now, this trial has been overshadowed by a new whistleblower, that is NSA leaker Edward Snowden. So I want to talk about this because also Julian Assange spoke about Edward Snowden on Sky News. If we can talk what he said, quote, Edward Snowden is a hero who has informed the public about one formulation of a mass surveillance state. What other countries need to do is line up and give their support to him. Everyone should go to their local politicians and press and demand they step forward and offer Mr. Snowden asylum in their country. It will be telling to see which countries genuinely protect human rights and genuinely protect the privacy of the public. So, Liz, talk about this. Was anything said about Edward Snowden today?
Well, not in the trial, but I can tell you among the media there, it's impossible not to draw these parallels between Bradley Manning and Edward Snowden. They're both relatively young. We have Bradley Manning, who admitted to one of the largest military leaks in U.S. history. Snowden now accused or also admitting to one of the biggest leaks in the National Security Administration's history. So, of course, we did hear from Snowden trying to set himself apart from Manning, saying that he scrutinized his documents a little bit more or was very, very careful in terms of what information he released and who he released the information to, kind of drawing that distinction between him and Bradley Manning. But I did speak to the press spokesperson of the Bradley Manning Support Network today, and he was very quick to point out the similarities, saying that both men did what they did in the interest of transparency and the public's right to know.
RT correspondent Liz Wall reporting from Fort Meade, Maryland. Thank you so much, Liz.